Do you see this comment? Do you see this comment? So this is Collision Royal. They asked me this in February, and I was away from TikTok for a while because I was trying to build stuff on YouTube, and, you know, now that things are going well over there, I'm back over here, and I've been meaning to make a video response to their question since February. I've done a very bad job of it, but I just want to point out, this person's been patient, they've been cool. I hope that they can understand after seeing this video. I wasn't trying to ignore them. It was a case of a lot of these figures have been put in storage, so I had to dig them all back out. But now, we're going to go through over all the Mortal Kombat 11 figures, and I'm going to try to remember where I got each and every one of them. I don't have a full collection, this isn't a complete set, this isn't like a history of this toy line, it's just a personal experience, and hopefully it will have been worth the wait for our friend up there. First character we'll look at will be Scorpion. This is easily the best figure in the entire line for me. It's my favorite. I think this was the best looking figure. I think it has the best articulation. It's great. I was able to get this guy off Amazon a few years ago. I'm going to be honest, this Mortal Kombat 11 line, it is not one of my favorites. I think a lot of the worst aspects of the DC Multiverse line, they are almost entirely what keeps this line going. That's to say, rough feeling articulations, sculpts that are too busy, accessories that are brittle. Scorpion doesn't have those issues. This is a phenomenal figure, one of the absolute best figures Scorpion has ever received. I could say the same exact thing about Sub-Zero. Phenomenal figure, design is great, articulation works, love the accessories. This Sub-Zero I got from a nerd shop here in Savannah called Planet Fun. They actually provided me with quite a few of these figures now that I think about it. But yeah, Scorpion and Sub-Zero were the big two I wanted. They were two of the hardest ones to come across. I was able to get them. To be clear, there are a lot of repaints that you can get of these figures. For instance, there's a purple Sub-Zero we'll look at later. There's a kind of gray and black Scorpion. If you just want the characters, you can get them easily. In terms of like their actual like usual appearances though, they can run a pretty penny, I'm afraid. I'll be honest, one of my favorite figures from this entire line is Katana. I think they look spectacular, their face sculpt is awesome, their accessories work really well. It makes me really sad that we never got a Molina in this style, because Molina is one of my absolute favorite Mortal Kombat characters. Even still, Katana, really, really well done. I got Katana at a Walgreens. I don't remember which one. It was a Walgreens here in Georgia, though. So that's where I found them. I actually found them about a year ago, so well after this figure released. It's more just people don't usually go to Walgreens toy shopping. So if you're looking for older figures, especially McFarlane and Hasbro older figures, Walgreens is actually a pretty decent place to check. I found this guy at a flea market. This is the Bloody Noob Saibot, so literally just the Noob Saibot, but they gave a really like cool shiny red paint to really make this guy look disgusting and gory. I like this figure well enough. He's one of the easier ones you can find, I think. But yeah, just at a flea market, this guy. Collision Royal actually commented this question on my review of Raiden. This is the Mortal Kombat 11 Raiden. It's kind of a redo of the Dark Raiden from the PS2 days. I found this guy at a different nerd store called Echo Base near where I live. It's a good Raiden, all things considered. You have to be into this this design. Very different from most Raidens. But yeah, still a pretty solid one. And one that, kind of like Katana, I think is actually one of the easier ones to find. Like, I think Raiden, Noob, and Katana are all still pretty affordable, if I remember right. One of my favorite figures in the entire line, and one I actually didn't make a review of, it's Johnny Cage. I got him from Planet Fun. A really well done figure, probably one of the best ones in the entire line. I adore everything about him. He could have used sunglasses, but at the same time, they probably would have been brittle or easy to lose, so I'm fine without them. And honestly, this is the figure, because it was a later figure in the line, this is the one that made me really sad that McFarlane kind of just gave up on Mortal Kombat after a while. It eventually just became nothing but spawns, and it was kind of terrible. Speaking of Spawn, this is Commando Spawn. He is the worst figure I own for Mortal Kombat 11, not because he himself is terrible, but because of what he represents. Eventually, the final waves of this line were literally just Spawns and the Batman Who Laughs and Joker. Keep in mind, McFarlane had a Spawn toy line and a DC toy line at this point. It was terrible. So many great characters that we never got from McFarlane. I don't think they had the license for Mortal Kombat 1, so we won't get them through that avenue either. I really, really dislike this spawn. At the same time, though, I found him at a GameStop in South Carolina. Speaking of GameStop visits, this was from a GameStop in North Carolina. I think this was like Arctic Freeze Sub-Zero. It's a Sub-Zero repaint, but the colors are supposed to be Rain. So that's why I picked it up. Rain, one of my favorite ninjas, I picked up this figure to kind of be my fill-in for Rain because Storm Collectibles, their version of him, insanely expensive nowadays. But still, I like him. I really like the purple axe, too. Kotal Khan. I got him from a place called Toy Federation in Greer, South Carolina, if I remember correctly. Good figure. I really like Kotal Khan, actually. One of the bulkier figures of the entire line. But also, he's a newer character, so there's not as much nostalgia there for me. Even still, very good representation of the guy, and he's still pretty affordable. Baraka was from a GameStop in South Carolina, and mine is a factory error. He has two of the same arm, and also it pops out of the shoulder a lot. Not great, and I see him all the time at Walgreens, it feels like. And then finally, the last figure from this collection I bought was Nightwolf, one of the later figures released in the line. I would have got him from, GameStop again, I'm pretty sure. I really like the Nightwolf. Of course, this is his Mortal Kombat 11 design. It's kind of different, but it looks great still. Really excited to have him in the collection. For me, my favorite figures from the line that I own are still Johnny Cage, Scorpion, and Katana. I think they're the best ones, just from what I like out of action figures, and I think they look the best. But yeah, that is every Mortal Kombat 11 figure I own, and where I got them from to the best of my memory. Collision Royal, I want to thank you again for your comment. I am sorry it took me so long to respond. I want you to know that I've been trying to get this video going, but I had to go to my storage unit and dig all these guys out. Thank you so much for your patience. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope whoever else watches this video enjoys it. And, yeah. Mortal Kombat 1. I've not played it. Probably not going to play it. Funny thing about microtransactions, it can make me abandon a hyperfixation I've had my entire life.